Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier. So today in this particular video we are going to explore how we can work with unstructured data in Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse platform. Okay. So one of my friend basically asked me how to work with PDF files in Snowflake. So I hope this video will give that answer too. And whatever concept I am going to explain in this video is not only for PDF files, but you can just twist this particular concept little bit to work with images and other unstructured file formats as well. Okay, so here as a first step, what we are going to explore is how to work with PDF files and Python. And then once that particular code is ready, we will try to replicate that same code using Snowpark and some other Python related feature in Snowflake. Okay, so here what I will do. First, I will install a Python module which is going to help us to interact with PDF files. And that popular Python modular package is pip install pypdf2. So pypdf2 basically we are going to use to interact with PDF files. So for that I need some dummy PDF files. So here I am having some of them. For example, here let me just open this particular file. And here you can see this is a MATLAB related PDF files which is having total 28 pages. So we are going to implement a very simple code which is going to read this particular PDF files and going to return us how many pages are there in this particular file. And that output should be 28 in this case. Okay. So here what I will do first, I will upload this particular file in Colab. I'll click on OK. Here you can see it is getting uploaded. Let it work. Parallelly what we will do, we will write our code. So here as a first step, what we need to do, import this particular module. And once that is done, we need to read this particular file. So here I will use open to read that file. First parameter will be the complete path of the PDF file. And then the next should be what I want to do. That we want to read in binary file format. So here the second parameter should be RP. Okay. And once that is done, we are going to create a PDF object which is basically going to parse this particular binary data. And on that we can apply several PDF related methods. Okay. So here PDF object equal to, here our pypdf is having one particular method and that is PDF reader. Like we are having Adobe Reader, similarly here we are having PDF reader. Okay. And here we need to pass this particular thing where we basically read this particular data. Okay, that is done. So here what I can do, I can copy this particular path and put that here. And then to get the length of this particular PDF file, I can simply execute length of our PDF object, and there it is providing one method and that is pages. It will basically return total number of pages available in this PDF object, that is basically in this particular PDF file. Okay, so if I execute, what should be expected output, that is 28. So let's run this particular code, and here it is throwing module error, no module pypdf2. So here is installed. Okay, I think I have given wrong spelling. Actually it should be pypdf2, P should be capital. And let me just run it again. Okay, here also I need to give capital P, and here it is giving us the output which is basically 28. Okay, so that means we are successfully able to write a Python code which is going to take the input the PDF file name and going to return us total number of pages available in it. So suppose this particular operation you have to do in Snowflake. How to do that? On that we are going to explore in this video. So here I am having my Snowflake worksheet. Here first we are going to create a fresh database S3 to Snowflake and going to use that. So here I am executing all these three commands, and once that is done, all these PDF files we need to put somewhere so that our Snowflake code can read it, right? So for that we are going to use S3, and here I am having my AWS management console open, and here I can go to S3. I have already created a bucket. Here this is the bucket name, and within this particular bucket I am basically having this particular folder. So here I will go, and here you can see currently this particular folder is empty. Here we are going to upload these PDF files, and we will try to explore whether using Snowpark we can calculate the number of pages available in these PDF files or not. Okay, so for that what we need to do, we need to create a external stage pointing to this S3 location. So for that, what I will do, I will quickly create security credentials. Although it is not a good practice to set up the integration between Snowflake and AWS, we should be using IAM role-based authentication. But I will be deleting this particular thing after this demo, so no worries. As of now, we can go ahead with this one. Here I have taken my access key and secret key, and we are going to create this external stage. So stage is created, and then here we can execute this list command. Currently we are able to see no data because in this particular S3 location we have observed we are having no file in it, right? So up to this I hope it is pretty much clear. Now we need to know how to run our Snowpark code here, where we can put this particular Python code. Okay, so for this particular part, I have already discussed in detail how to create a Snowpark stored procedure. That is, we'll be writing a stored procedure where internally we'll be executing Python code, not JavaScript or Java or SQL code. Okay, so I am going to refer that particular video now. So for that, what I'll do, I will go to my ClickUp document section, and here if I just search Snowpark, here you can see a section is there, Snowpark with Python, and here we are having a video, Snowpark Python stored procedure as inline code in Snowflake worksheet. So this video I am going to refer. So here I am having this particular video. If you scroll below in the video section, here you will get some code which is basically explaining how to write a Snowpark stored procedure, that is stored procedure using Python. Okay, so here if you see the code, create or replace procedure, here the procedure name I will change, that is count number of pages, and SP. SP stands for stored procedure. Okay, and here maybe the input should be file name, and it should not be integer, it should be string type. So I will use string, and I don't need any other parameter, one parameter is sufficient. The return type, let it be string, you can change to integer if you want. Language Python, runtime version 3.8, that is fine. And packages, so here Snowflake Snowpark Python is obviously needed. Apart from that, we need one particular extra module, and that is PyPDF2. Okay, so here I am going to use that too. And the handler, here we need to provide the name, which is basically our main function, which is basically going to calculate the total number of pages available in that PDF file, right? So here I can give the name as main function, something like that. And here I can give the definition. The first parameter should be obviously session, and the second parameter we can put as file name, right? And then here I can copy this particular piece of code, and here instead of return I can paste this code. Okay, we have to make sure we are providing proper indentation, and that is done. Here we are first importing the module, and then we are reading this particular file. Now PDF file, here we are executing open, but in Snowpark directly open will not work. For that we are having a different feature what we are going to use to read the PDF file, and then rest part is as it is. Here I can return this particular length. Okay, and instead of return maybe I can return integer, because it is going to basically return total number of pages. So pretty much our Snowpark code is ready. Only thing we need to basically explore is how to open or read a PDF file from external stage. And for that, Snowflake has basically given us a feature called Snowflake File System. So let me open that documentation. So here this is the one what Snowpark is providing us to read a particular file from external stage, and that is Snowflake file.open. This method we can utilize. Okay, so first we need to import this one, like how we import different Python modules, and this import you can do outside the main function also, not a problem. So first we are importing the Snowflake file, and then we are importing the PyPDF2, and instead of open, here we need to execute Snowflake file.open. Okay, and here instead of providing the file name like this way, here we are passing that as argument, so we need to provide that here. Okay, so main function is basically something what is going to execute this particular code and return the length of pages available in a PDF file. Cool. So here we can execute this particular procedure. Let's see whether we are getting any error or not. So here this particular stored procedure is successfully created, but here you can see I am using an external module So you have to do this particular setup beforehand. Basically here you have to allow one particular property, and that is whether you can use Anaconda packages or not. So for that you can go to admin section, and here billing and terms are available, and here you will be getting the option of allowing Anaconda Python packages. So here I have already acknowledged, so keep this particular thing in mind also, right? And pretty much our stored procedure is ready. Now we are ready to execute our stored procedure. So what I can execute: call, then stored procedure name, and here I need to pass the file name. Okay, so for that, first let me upload some file here. So here this particular file only I am going to upload, which is having basically 28 pages, and here it is uploaded. Okay, so let's start with very basic thing. So what I will do, maybe I will copy the S3 URL here, and I will try to pass. Let's see whether we are getting any error or not. And here it is throwing an Python interpreter error, and here you can see it is throwing an exception that the URL should be scoped URL. So we cannot simply pass the file name like this way. We need to generate the scoped URL for this. So now we should know how to create the scoped URL. So for that also Snowflake might have given us some particular function. So let's see that. How to create scoped URL in Snowflake. And here you can see one method is there, that is build scope file URL, and the syntax is this way. Okay, so let's do that. I have copied that and pasted. So the function is build scoped URL, and here I need to provide the stage name. So our external stage is basically this particular one. I am going to copy that and paste that here, and then here relative file path. So our external stage is basically covering up to this. So only the relative file path will be nothing but our file name, that is this one. Okay, and here I can execute this select, and let's see whether this code is throwing an exception or not. And here it is giving me one particular URL. So pretty much this particular thing now I need to provide inside our call of the stored procedure. So first, this internal function is going to generate the scoped URL, and then we are calling this particular stored procedure with that particular scoped URL, and we can hope that our Snowflake file.open will able to successfully read that particular file and give us the total number of pages available. Okay, so let's execute this now, and here it is running, and here you can see beautifully we are getting the outcome as 28. So here I hope you can clearly understand we are working with unstructured data with Snowflake, because this is PDF file. It is not having any particular schema, not even like JSON that it is having some particular key value pair. It is totally a unstructured file format, not following any pattern, but using little bit of Snowflake Snowpark features, we are successfully able to work with PDF files in Snowflake, right? So now let me upload another file. So maybe for example, this particular CRM system, I am having another PDF file. If I open that, here you can see it is having 47 pages. So let me upload that here. So I'll go to my folder, and here I will put that file. I'll click on upload. So here it is uploaded. Now I just need to copy this particular file, and in this stored procedure, here I need to provide that particular file name. Okay. So here we have already seen that it is having 47 pages. So ideally, when we will execute, we should get the outcome as 47. So here you can see beautifully we are getting 47 as output. So that means this particular code is successfully working. Now one problem with stored procedure is here we cannot execute like simple select function. Within a SQL query we cannot execute. We need to execute this separately with call. We need to call the procedure and all. But rather, can we do the same using a Snowpark function, kind of user-defined function? And the answer is yes. All we need to do, we can copy this particular stored procedure. See, here nothing new we have done. First, let me make this clear. The stored procedure, how to write in Python, I have already discussed. I have copied that code. And this particular part, how to interact with PDF files and Python, that is something new which we already explored here, right? So here till now, I hope it is pretty much fine. And then here, instead of doing create or replace procedure, I can do create or replace function to create a user-defined function. Okay. And here I can change the function name as count number of pages. Instead of SP, I can write SF. that is, or UDF I can write, user defined function. And let's keep the pretty much other code is as it is. And then here it is throwing an error, Python function defined with 2 arguments, but UDF is taking only 1. So here we have passing only 1 argument only. Okay. So the difference between Snowflake stored procedure and Snowflake user defined function is, in case of stored procedure you need to pass the session as first argument, but in case of Snowflake function it is not needed. Okay. So here I can run pretty much this one, and let's see. Here our UDF got created. Now here what I can do, I can maybe execute this within a select clause. Okay, just like how we execute SQL query. Select count number of pages UDF, and then here we can put this particular scoped URL. Okay, right? And let's execute. We should get the output as 27, and here you can see we are beautifully getting 47 actually, sorry. So this particular PDF file is having total 47 pages. And let me upload maybe another file. So sample PDF1. Let's see how many pages are there in this PDF file. Here you can see only 2 pages are available. This is the first page and this is the second page, right? So here I will upload this also. I'll click on upload. That is done. And here I will copy this file name. I'll go to Snowflake and here I'll paste that. Okay. So it should return us 2 as output, right? And here you can see it is beautifully returning 2. So this way we can create a Snowpark user defined function which can help us in computing total number of pages available in a PDF file, right? So I hope up to this it is pretty much clear. If you have any doubt, just mention your doubt along with the timestamp where you got the doubt. I will try to reply back ASAP. Okay. Now suppose we want to make sure one thing, that whatever PDF files are available, for all of them I want to get the count value. For example, 3 files I have uploaded. There is another file SQL read code. Here if you see it is having total 122 pages. So let me just upload that also here. And here we need to implement something so that all the PDF files whatever are available in our external stage, for all of them we can get the number of page count together. So how we can do that? Obviously one way is we are having this particular list command. So if I just execute list external stage, here we should able to get the list of all the files, right? Here all the files we are getting. Now what we have to do? See, this is our function. So here in this particular function we are passing 2 things. One is stage name which is constant, and the second thing is the file name alone we need to pass. But here when we are executing list command, then we are not getting the file name alone, but we are getting the complete S3 path. So what we can do? We can basically take one particular S3 file path and then split based on slash, and then we can just take the last element from it. So that way we will get only the file name, and then we can execute this particular function. So what I'm trying to say is select, maybe I can take the name field, name, comma, here from this particular name first we need to split based on slash and then take the last element, right? So here I can execute the split part function, and then here I can pass the column name as name, and then based on what we should split that also I am passing, and the last element I need, so I am putting -1. Okay, using negative indexing we can extract the last element as file name from. So from where we can select this particular thing, that is the question now. So obviously first we are executing the list command. So from the last query ID the result set we can extract. So for that I can use the table function, table, and then result scan last query ID. Okay, here I am assuming that last query ID I have executed list external stage, right? So here last query ID I have kept, and pretty much it. Let's try to execute this and let's see whether it is working properly or not. First list command we have executed, and then when we are executing this code, it is giving the name and the file names alone. Now this file name we can pass in this particular SQL query. So here what I can do, I can put this as inner query, and in the outer section I can pass select, maybe complete file name I need, comma, here this complete thing I need to put, and then from. Okay, so here I need to change little bit. Instead of hard coding the file name, here we are giving the file name alias as file name, so I'll put that. Okay, So here first what we are doing, we are executing list external stage, that is going to give us the absolute file name. Using the last query ID, we are extracting that particular result data and splitting based on slash. We are taking the last element, that way only file names will be getting. That we are passing in the second argument of build scope URL. That way for all the individual files, the scope URL will be created, and then we are passing that particular file names in the UDF whatever we have created, which is basically going to help us to count total number of pages available in PDF file. And also we are taking the name column to show you properly. So fingers crossed, let's see. And here you can see it is giving us the output. So here it is taking a very big name. I can shorten this name as PDF page count, something like that. And let me execute both codes again. And here you can see beautifully for all the PDF files, number of pages available in it is returning, right? So I hope you understood how to work with this, but there is one particular problem in this case, that every time I need to execute the list command to get the file names, but rather if we could extract all the file names from a particular table, then that would be much better, right? So in our next section, we are going to explore how to get these names, whether we can create some table pointing to this external stage, which is going to return us all these file names. And then on top of that table, we can easily execute this particular UDF, right? So stay tuned for our next section. So now we reached to the second section of our discussion, where in the first section, we have implemented a user-defined function, which can help us to count total number of pages available in a PDF file, where the PDF file is available in our Snowflake external stage. And in this case, our external stage is this S3 location. So now if we want to get for all the PDF files available in that external stage, what is the individual page count? For that, we need to execute these two queries together, right? So if I just execute first list command, and then that result set I am consuming, and then I am passing that via count number of pages, this particular UDF function, which is returning the count of pages for individual PDF files, right? Now this is not a good practice that always will be executing a command and that result set will be using in the next code. Rather than that, can we implement something using which this particular list external stage, whatever we are doing, this particular data, we can get from some table, so that on that particular table column directly we can apply this particular function easily, right? So the answer is yes, this kind of functionality we can implement, that all the metadata information, whatever we are getting for external stage files, that we can put in a table, and that particular feature in Snowflake is termed as directory table. Okay, so in this section we are specially going to focus on directory table concept. Okay, so for that what we need to do, we need to create the external stage in some different way. So here already I created one external stage, so I am going to copy this particular code and paste that somewhere here. So here I can comment the name as create the external stage with directory table enabled, right? And the stage name I can put snow stage directory table, right? And then here URL is basically our S3 path, which is same, credential is same, and one more property we need to add here, and that is basically directory equal to enable equal to true. Okay, so what it will do, it will enable the directory functionality for this external stage, and that way from a particular table we can get the metadata of all the files available in our external stage. Okay, right? So here maybe I can give the name with YT, and now I can run this particular external stage code. Okay, so the stage got created. Now if I execute list command, list external stage, it will basically give me the same data whatever earlier I was getting, right? Now our primary intention to implement directory table is to get this particular information from a table, like kind of select query we can execute and then get the results. So for that what you have to do, you can execute this query, select star from directory, and then here within parentheses you need to provide your stage name. Okay, so in our case the external stage is this one, which is having directory enabled, and here I can give @ and then here this is the stage. So now let's execute, and here you can see Now using select query, we can get the same result set, same kind of information, whatever we were getting using list command. So earlier first we need to execute list command and then we have to consume the result set using table function and last query ID. That is not needed now. Directly we can get the relative path, size, last modified, MD5, E tag, and also file URL also it is provided. Now our main requirement is this relative path, because if you consider this particular function, here it need to read the file using snowflake file.open, right? And this file should be a scoped URL. That scoped URL, how we are generating? First we need to pass the external stage and then the relative file path, right? So relative file path we are already getting. Now what is the meaning of relative file path in simple words is nothing but first you need to put the external stage and then you append this particular part, you will get the absolute path. For example, sample PDF1, if you consider this sample PDF1, this is basically located in S3, then set, then test PDF file, and there this particular file name. From S3:// to test PDF file, this particular part is already available in our external stage. Because if you observe, we created the external stage up to this particular layer. So if I just put only the file name at the end of this particular path, then I will get the complete path, right? So that's the definition of relative path, that along with our actual external stage, what part I need to add to get the complete or absolute file path for that particular file, right? I hope you can easily understand this. So relative file path is actually what we were looking for. So now let's try to execute this particular code with our UDF. Okay, so earlier we were executing these two codes simultaneously, but that is not needed. Now we can basically use this particular directory table feature only. So here I can just edit this particular code little bit. I can remove this particular inner query and here I can select from this particular table now. Okay, and then here name is not needed. Maybe I can put the relative file path as the first column, which will give us the PDF file name for which we are getting the count. Then count number of pages UDF. We are building the scope URL. Now in this case the external stage name I can update. So here this stage what I have created, that is snow stage directory table YT. So that I'll be putting here, right? And the file name. Here I no need to provide the file name. Here I need to provide the relative file path. Okay. So that way the build scope file URL will create the scope URL and that we are passing to the count number of pages UDF function. Okay. PDF page count from directory this one. So here this is our updated stage where directory feature we have enabled. Now let's see whether we are able to get the result or not. So here you can beautifully see we are getting the result. So earlier in the section 1, whatever we have implemented, that time we need to execute two codes. First list command and then we need to execute select query based on result set. But now we are directly getting that metadata information for all the files available in external stage from this directory table, and that we are directly using to get the count. Okay, right? So now let me upload another PDF file in this particular external stage to show you how directory table is getting updated. So here in our local system, I am having 3 new PDF files. Let me first show you one particular PDF file. So here new one, let me open, and I'm opening Adobe Reader. And here you can see total 659 pages are there. Cool. So what I will do, I will drag and drop to our S3, right? And I'll click on upload. So here it is getting uploaded. It will take some time based on internet speed, and it is done. So now let's execute our directory table and let's see whether that new file is showing or not. But no, it is not showing. It is again showing that only 4 files whatever it was having earlier, right? So that means the directory table is not getting updated automatically. So for that, what we can do, we need to refresh this directory table. And I hope you are getting this idea that it is almost same like our external table. Like for example, external table don't contain the actual data, but rather it only contains the metadata information. Similarly, here in this case, directory table also is having the metadata information for all the files available in our external stage, right? So like in external table, we were executing alter external table refresh command. Similarly, here to refresh the directory table, we need to execute that alter stage refresh command. Okay. So I'll execute that particular command so that that new file also will be coming here, so that our Snowpark UDF can compute the number of pages in it, where the outcome should be 659, right? So to refresh the directory table, all you need to do is alter stage, and then you have to provide the stage name where directory table you have enabled, that is basically this one, and then here I can give refresh. Okay, refresh. Right, now here I will execute this code. As soon as I am trying to refresh this particular directory table, here you can see that it has detected this particular new file only, new1.pdf, what we have uploaded just now. If I just sort based on last modified, here you can see this one I have uploaded just now, right? So now our directory table is refreshed. Now if I execute the same code, here our Snowpark UTF should compute the number of pages for new1.pdf also. And here you can see it is beautifully computing and it is returning the result 659. Perfect, right? But the problem in this particular use case is every time we need to execute this alter stage refresh command to get the latest file in the directory table. And that might not be possible always in production system. If we can automate this particular part, that will be great, right? So now we are going to explore how to refresh directory table automatically. Okay, and automatic refresh. Okay, don't go with spelling because here I might do some spelling mistake. I'm not considering that. Just try to understand the concept. Okay, so here now this time we are going to create such directory table which will be refreshed automatically. So here yt auto refresh, some name I have given. Only change you have to do is here directory equal to enable equal to 2, that will be there. Along with that I need to write auto refresh equal to true. Okay, so this particular feature we can utilize to implement some event driven pipeline, that whenever some file is getting landed in our external stage, automatically our directory table will be refreshed. Okay, so here let's execute, and here auto refresh got created. Now we need one SQSQ like we have done in Snowpark or external table refresh automatically, that same feature. So for that, what we need to do, we need to basically execute a describe command kind of thing. So here I can execute DESC stage, and then the stage name I can put. Let's execute this one, and here lot of properties related to the external stage you will be getting. And here if I scroll below, here you can see the directory notification channel, and Snowflake has created one particular SQSQ for us. All we have to do is go to this particular bucket. Okay, go to properties section, and here we can basically enable event notification. So here event name, directory, table, data, all object create event as well as all object remove event. For both of them I want to update our directory table, and then here I should be putting my SQSQ here, right? So here I have kept, and I'll save the changes. So now our event notification is created. So that way what will happen, as soon as in this particular external stage some file will be getting landed, automatically our Snowflake directory table will be getting refreshed. So we'll execute this particular code also. So I'll just update my code. This is our new external stage. So here we are using stage name, I'll update that, and the directory table from where we are considering that also I have updated, right? I hope up to this it is pretty much simple. As of now, if I am executing this particular code, I'll be getting same result as we were getting earlier. That is, for 5 PDF files, it is giving the result. Now what I'll do, I will upload one more file, that is new2. Okay, and let me open this particular one. Here you can see it is having only 3 pages. Perfect. So here I will go to my external stage, and then here I will upload new2, and I'll click on upload button. Right now here it is going to take some time, and here it is uploaded. Now we need to do nothing. Automatically in the backend, based on SQS event notification, the S3 file will be coming in the directory table, and after some time if I execute this particular command, automatically new2.pdf file also it will be showing the result. Okay, so let's execute. So here you can see it has not came yet. Obviously it is not exact real time, it is near real time kind of thing. So we need to wait a little bit to get the outcome. So let's wait for a few seconds. Let me execute this now. And here you can see automatically new2.pdf file also came. Our UDF has computed the number of pages, and that is 3. And already we have seen that new2.pdf is having 3 pages actually. So now let me show you another event driven situation. That is, suppose I am uploading this particular new 3 PDF file which is having 4 pages in it, right? Here first page, and then here this is second page, third page, and fourth page, right? So let's see. So here I will choose new 3.pdf file and I can upload. So here it got uploaded. Now if I execute this particular code, as of now here you can see new 3.pdf file is not there, but ideally within some time we should be getting new 3.pdf also in this result set, because in the backend the SQS should refresh the directory table automatically, and the new 3.pdf file should have 4 pages in it, because we have seen that it is having 4 pages, right? So let's wait for a few seconds. So it's time to check. And here you can see beautifully new 3.pdf file came, right? So this way automatically we can refresh directory table. So I hope in this section you got the idea of directory table, which is nothing but kind of external table only. Like external table don't contain the actual data, it only have the metadata information. Similarly, directory table basically holds all the metadata information for all the files, whether that is structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. For all those files, the metadata information the directory table holds, and we can utilize this particular feature to work with unstructured file formats in Snowflake using this particular manner, right? So this is all for this particular section. We will catch up in the next section.